There are 7 drop-down menus in the main menus bar. I'm going to go through each one individually and show you what's inside. Inside the File menu drop-down, you'll find New Project, which is hotkey Control-N by default. This will allow you to start a new project from scratch. Next you'll find Open Project, hotkey Control-O. This will obviously open a project for you that you've previously saved. Import Project, which is hotkey Control-I, allows you to import compressed GMZ files, which are GMX files that have been exported from any of your previous projects. You can also import older legacy files like GM81, GMK, GM6, and so forth. The only problem is some of your code may not be compatible with GameMaker Studio, and therefore you'll have to update your code to have it run properly. Recent Projects is a submenu that simply shows you any project you've recently opened or worked on. Save, which is hotkey Control-S, will save your current project, it'll save any changes you've made. Save As, similar to Save, but allows you to make a new name for your project, or name it if you haven't named it yet. Save All works slightly different from Save. It not only saves anything that's been altered since the last time you saved, but it also saves all assets. Anything that hasn't been altered will also be saved. Export Project will turn your current project into a .gmz compressed file. I mentioned this in Import Project. It's great if you need to work on your file on another computer or simply have to send it to a colleague. Create Application will compile your game into a standalone file. The file type will depend on which target you've selected from your Compile Target dropdown. Preferences changes all of your options for GameMaker Studio. Exit closes the program. This is hotkey Alt F4. The first option in the Edit menu dropdown is Insert Object. Now, depending on which folder you have highlighted in your resource tree, this will change. It could allow you to create a new sprite, create a new object, or room. It just depends on which folder you have highlighted in your resource tree. Duplicate, which has the hotkey Alt Insert, will duplicate any asset you currently have highlighted, be it from the sprite dropdown, the objects, the room, whatever. Insert Group, which has the hotkey Shift Insert, will create a folder file within your asset folders. This is great for grouping similar sprites together, similar objects, or whatever. Delete, as it sounds, uses the hotkey Shift Delete, which removes any asset from the resource tree. Rename, which is the hotkey F2, will just rename whichever asset you have selected. Properties, which is Alt-Enter, will open up the Properties window of whichever asset you currently have highlighted. Find Resource, or Control-R, will open up a text field, which allows you to search through your resource tree for any asset that you're looking for. Expand Resource Tree and Collapse Resource Tree will simply expand or collapse the folders within your resource tree. Show Object Information will open a plaintext window of the information associated with the current object you have selected. Transparent Background Settings will open up a window, and inside you'll find Block Pattern or Single Color. This is used to create a checkerboard pattern on the canvas behind your sprite, or use one flat color. The Resources drop-down menu allows you to create any asset. It's similar to the main toolbar. You can also find each hotkey combination here. The Scripts drop-down menu may contain some things that you don't understand, as we haven't gone into anything advanced quite yet. We'll come back to this in the Scripts lesson. The Run menu is pretty simple. It contains options for running your game normally, running it in debug mode, cleaning up any unused assets, and there may be some additional options depending on which version of GameMaker you're using. As before, each hotkey is listed next to each selection. The Window menu is similar to most Windows programs. You can cascade your windows, you can arrange your icons, but you can also open up the compile form. It may not open up when you start the program, so you can use Show Compile Form to find the compile window, although it will naturally appear whenever you run your game or compile your game. The last option is Close All. It simply closes all windows. The Help drop-down menu has a lot of options, but they're mostly concerned with things outside of GameMaker. The exception is the first section. Contents, which is F1, opens up the GameMaker Studio help file. It's a great place to learn a lot about GameMaker. You can also open up the Extension Packages window, or you can open up the Tutorial panel. GameMaker does come with some pre-made tutorials. The next section deals with the Yo-Yo Games website. You can find news, their website, the forums, their wiki, and their current release notes. The third section has the help desk and report a bug. If you're having any problems with the software, the help desk will take you to the help section of the Yo-Yo Games website. Similarly, if you're having a problem, you can click on report a bug. This will also take you to the Yo-Yo Games website, but it will take you to a form where you can tell Yo-Yo Games what bug you're experiencing. The next section deals with finding the GameMaker executable in an Explorer window, or finding your project in an Explorer window. And the last section will deal with updating your license, if you've purchased any new licenses. About GameMaker opens up an information window about GameMaker. It includes your product key, the registered user, the version you're running, and which modules you have.